Rita, welcome to that Eurovision site. Can you tell us a bit more about yourself?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me in the first place. So my name is Rita Onofre. I do music. I started singing when I was very little. It's a very known story that I share with many different musicians and artists. But yeah, just I just fell in love with the feeling of release and transformation that I always felt when I was curiously singing and having fun, and then a bit later at 12 creating music. So I've always just known that I wanted to be close to that feeling and that sensation. And yeah, here we are, 27, and in that field.
And how would you describe yourself as a musician and say who are your main inspirations?
I am very. I think my focus as a musician is always to be creating with other people, collaborating. I do my work, my artistic work, through a lens of relating to my own mind and what I'm feeling and what is happening, and trying to. So, like, I feel that I'm doing music, but I could be a painter or I could be something else. It's just a way of expressing myself that I love. And of course, fell in love with music because it's a very specific way of art. But I would describe myself as maybe just someone who's like a musician who wants to keep moving and not stop. And like, I don't want to put myself in a box, or I try to try on different looks, like musical looks. And I like that. I like that because I feel that my voice is always going to be there, and it's always going to put everything together. And I like that experimentation. So I'm obviously a pop consumer, and I'm a pop music songwriter. But yeah, I always try to diverse and respond to this need that I have to be doing different things at the same time. And yeah, I forgot the other question you had. Sorry.
Your main inspirations.
Okay, so my main inspirations, I'm not sure. There are albums that I go back to that make me feel better and make me not always. I mean, sometimes you need to feel better. Sometimes you just need to help to realize something about your life or what you're going through. I really am in love with Justin Vernon. I will always be. I'm a big Bon Iver fan, and I really like female artists that try to rip the molds, like Banks, for example. And I think she was a big inspiration for the single for Festival da Canção. I really like Sef de Lisa. I don't know. I digress, but it's a bit all over the place.
So you're participating in this year's edition of Festival da Canção with your song Criatura. What made
Mm.
you decide to apply to the contest?
I had applied 2 years ago already and didn't get in. And so this year already had the single for so long. I actually released an album in the beginning of 23, the year 2023, and it was supposed to go in that album, but it became very obvious that the sound wasn't the same. It didn't make sense. The aesthetics didn't match. So I wanted to release it later, and then later became later and became later, and we actually produced it. It had different arrangements throughout the time, and so suddenly it was time for the submissions, the free submissions, and I decided to do it. Like, why not? What could happen? No is guaranteed. So here we are.
And can you tell me more about the song? Like what was the process behind writing it? What's the meaning of it?
I wrote it as I started writing it as this prompt that some friends gave me, like, write a song to your younger self. We gave it to each other, and I started doing that. The name of the first demo was Carta a mim, which in Portuguese means a letter to myself. And so I started talking about this girl who was very locked inside her anxieties, her fear, her fears and anxieties that she didn't even understand where they came from, where they were going. And I started without, so I didn't write the song knowing like I'm gonna write a song about this or that, or the main message is gonna be this. But it turned out like the writing of the song led me to be saying to this young girl that whenever you are creating and making music, whenever you are involved in your dreams, your desires, this suffering ceases, and you become lighter, you become powerful, you become yourself. And yeah, that's what the song is about.
And you said you applied a couple of years ago and you were included this year thanks to the open call. What did it mean to find out that you had been included in the lineup?
It was surreal, of course. It was very like I as I think many artists go through this. We respond to the open calls and then we forget about it, just so we don't keep thinking about it until we know the answers. So I got the call at like 7 p.m. on a Friday, and I like wasn't expecting it to be work, and it was just surreal. Like I had forgotten that I had made the submission, and I was so happy. Just to, I felt like I had already won like this space to be talking about what I want to talk about and to share space with other artists. I'm very excited about that, and yeah, that was it.
Uh, on the open call, we obviously last year's winner came from the open call, and we've seen quite a big increase in the amount of people being invited to the festival that way. Do you think
Mhm.
this is a really good change that the broadcaster's making?
Yeah, I had that in the tip of my tongue because that's I think that's what made me want to be part of it in the first place. When in Portugal we had this big changes in Festival da Canção, where things shifted in a way where obviously RTP wanted wanted the artists to be themselves, and more each year. And so I think the artists themselves started wanting to say things that they wanted to say. Of course, happy to be in Festival da Canção, happy to have the chance to go to Eurovision, but with the message they wanted to bring. And so I think seeing that with my eyes made me feel like, yeah, I want to be part of that. Of course, like I resonate with that energy, and that made me come closer to the institution and to what it represents, which is like a big celebration of music. In the end, whatever happens, we're all just listening to each other and talking about music, and that's beautiful. Like, yeah.
And then I think this year it's every single entrant singing their own song. How think that's not something most other festivals in the Eurovision season have. How big of a selling point do you think that is for FDC?
How big of what? I'm sorry.
How an advantage for it for all the others?
If I think it is an advantage for us, for Portugal.
Yeah, for Portugal and also for you, the songwriters.
Yeah, I think that's what I was saying. Like, you invite the authors, right? And then the authors invite the interpreters. But I believe that we're coming closer to having authors that are very confident in their message and their words. And so, of course, if I have something to say, even if I'm not technically perfect, I am better at saying what I have to say than anyone else because I want to say it. And so I think that is a reflection of the work that has been happening in the arts in Portugal, in our own confidence, in our own acceptance, and realizing that we don't need to be anything other than ourselves to be worthy of being on stage and occupying space, and talking about even our own history.
And
Yeah.
you described it as a celebration of music. And how big do you think it is to have such a big platform to share Portuguese art?
It's beautiful, and to have them have the ability for, like, it's the first time that I have this much you know the opportunity to think of a song for the stage and to actually, I want to like to think of it as like so much more than just, just a gig or something. No, it's like it's 2 minutes or something, and I am being given the opportunity to make it speak for itself, and it's me and it's so many other people because I know it, and it's beautiful to show Portuguese what Portuguese people are doing, but also to show the Portuguese what other countries are doing. And so it's this exchange where, like, for once, there's nothing related to politics or nothing other than, like, of course, there's like, and as it should be, like this environment around Eurovision and what people expect you to do, but also like a sharing, and a showing, and that is a it's great for us to show our music, but also for us to listen and to understand that there is more, so yeah, it's a two-way street.
Yeah. So if you were lucky enough to win FTC, you'd be going to Eurovision. Is that something you've always aspired to as an artist, or is it just a symptom of being in Festival da Canção?
Yeah, I think I never aspired to go to Eurovision. I think I never allowed myself to dream that big, maybe. But I feel very honored too, and right now what I feel is that if that happens, I would be so proud to, represent my country and express this hypersensitive part of our culture and being that isn't always, like tough and strong, and like, yeah, we can be fragile, we can be talking about, the complicated things and be strong through it. So it would be like, a new dream came true, of course, but it is
I-
a new dream.
Is it something you watch every year, Eurovision?
No, I never had the culture of it, to be very honest. I've been learning a lot with the new friends that I've made in 2020, people that know like everything about Eurovision and Festival da Canção, and so I have been getting like this every year. We do like this dinner and we watch it since 2020, and so I've been getting this injection of knowledge, and I think it's beautiful because the way they connect the information with the history of the country or what was going through it, like that's always, it's like getting to know, it's been like getting to know this side of uh, I don't know, this show that is so much bigger than anyone who goes on stage. It's like, yeah, it's been very fun.
Are there any particular songs from Festival da Canção or Eurovision that stand out to you personally?
Yeah, Eurovision not yet, but Festival da Canção, yes. I'm really in love with the many songs. I really love Yolanda's Grito, of course. I really love João Borges pelas Costuras. And I really love Perpetua's song, which I don't remember the name, but it's a beautiful, classy, upbeat, beautiful thing of this group that I had already known and was very happy to know that they were participating too.
And what about any from years gone by, maybe since you started watching?
Yeah, I really liked the one that won last year.
Uh,
The let me. I always had a problem with the name of the song. Give me a second, sorry. So it's like she's this, like, I think the staging was also beautiful. Um Give me a second.
you're on Tattoo, Loreen.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Loreen. Yeah, exactly. So I think like it was just like this powerful, pulsant, beautiful thing that happened there. Like, I think that it was very raw in its essence. There was nothing raw about the staging, and I like that very much. But it was very raw in the message, and I really connected to it. And yeah, I think that was my favorite yet, the one that like stuck out, of course.
And as for
Stand out.
yourself, how are your preparations going for your competing in Festival de Canção?
I've just been falling in love with working my voice to the best as it can be, working my body to the best as it can be, and also like in the beginning it was like so I have to fit this mold, and then I realized no, you have to do what you want to do. And like when I realized that, I started having so much fun, and now it's just becoming this beautiful show that I whatever happens, I'm just so proud of showing it. And I am I feel like I've started an artistic process that even after Festival da Canção, I don't want it to end. Like, I really feel like I stepped into like a new era of the way that I deal with and work with myself and my own personal wishes, artistic wishes, professional wishes. Yeah,
And do you have any idea of what your performance on the stage will look like?
I do, but I don't want to share it
That's
yet.
wise.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of our audience, they won't know you that well. Do you, other than Criatura, what is one song if they really like Criatura, what other song in your back catalogue would you say, if you liked Criatura, listen to this?
I think if you like Criatura, you could listen to Neblina, which is also a collaboration that I've done with this beautiful Azorian singer Sara Cruz and this uh, Portuguese from Algarve, Luar. It's a song called Neblina, and it also has this like dark, raw vibe, electronic. Yeah, I would say Neblina would be a good choice.
And finally, whilst we've got you here, is there any message you'd like to get out there?
Yeah, a lot of messages. Let me just think if any of them is worthy of like if I should say them right now. I think I don't know. I just hope people always realize that this is a beautiful place. Like there's so much war, there's so much famine, and like the human being can be so dark, and then suddenly we have this place where we can share our music. And let's not forget that whatever our opinion is, this is already beautiful. And I think yeah, I think it's a beautiful community. I'm very happy to be entering.
Thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck for Festival da Canção.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having me.